Welcome to the game room, Waddler-D. We're back for a new Let's Play, Kirby's Dream Course for the Super NES, and this game has fun and frustrating memories. In fact, I've already made a few frustrating memories by recording this and not recording the live commentary. But nevertheless, this game is a fun-filled adventure of Kirby and golf. Basically, the way this game works is Kirby needs to catapult himself into enemies on various holes of a course, mainly just 8, and the last enemy will turn into a cup, which you will need to propel Kirby into said cup to complete the hole and move on to the next one. If you're thinking, that doesn't sound too bad, well, if there's anything that you should know about golf games, very meticulous, like to a fault. And if there's anything about Kirby's Dream Course, is that the best laid plans generally will turn into the worst nightmares. And the reason why Kirby is doing all of these shenanigans is because King Dedede is a dick. He has decided to steal stars from the sky, and that has pretty much made most of Dreamland depressed. So if you can... It's just so fitting that we have to play this game because King Dedede just wants to make everyone sad. So I honestly don't understand why Kirby is turning himself into a ball or using the ball ability to begin with, but here we are. We're playing golf with Kirby. And as you can imagine, it's not easy, because it's a lot of trial and error, and you have a health meter for each shot that you take, and all the damage that you take also counts. Kirby can run the risk of dying, and you know what that means. You lose a life, and you know what that also means is that if you lose all your lives, you have to do the course again, and it is probably one of the most punishing game overs in Kirby history. So let's try to do in such a way where you do not game over, and I'm going to do that by showing off this game to a fault, because, and if by fault, I mean I could possibly still screw up, but at the very least, I want to get you guys through this game in one piece. But before you even begin that, if you're playing this game for yourself, go into demo play. This is where you will learn all that you need to know about this game to a pretty much to a understandable degree. It shows you real demos and explains stuff along the way. And trust me that I say this is a very helpful section. It even shows you about all the abilities that you'll be picking up in this game, but we won't be talking about them just yet, because we'll just explain about them as we get them. But for right now, we're going to be heading into one-player mode. And if you are starting this game for the first time, you need to make a new member, which will bring up this nice little black screen that you can create your own little picture, make a nice little Kirby picture, or just something to your liking. But I already made myself a nice little Waddler-D ball, so let's begin our adventure in Kirby's Dream Course and learn that we can't even go anywhere other than Course 1. Course 1 is definitely a good starting place because you'll get to learn all the controls that you could possibly be utilizing here, and of course getting a nice little taste of the abilities that Kirby will be making the best use of. Unfortunately, Kirby is having a bit of bad luck himself. First thing you want to know about this game is the guide. The guide is going to be your main tool of help. And the way it works is that 25% is this length and 50% is this length. But that's at least the way I look at it. And trust me when I say this, definitely try to gauge your shot power, because that's going to be the nice deciding factor of all your luck in this game. So the way shot power works is you press the A button, and then you press the A button again, and that's where the power meter is going to go. If you don't press anything after, if you just press the A button once and nothing else, you will go nowhere. So let's do this. And if you hit it at that angle against these little bouncy walls, with that shot power, you will get a hole-in-one every time. This is pretty much a guaranteed hole-in-one, unless you decide to do it or follow the demo's way, which I highly recommend that you don't. But as you can see, Kirby did a damn good job. And trust me, you want to get as many holes in ones as you can get, because that is the only way you're getting extra lives. This is a Kirby game that does not hand out extra lives. That's actually quite crazy and scary at the same time. Second hole is going to be a little bit more interesting, because we're going to have a little bit of a dip to mind, and of course we have this little arrow-like contraption, where if you hit it from any angle, it will pretty much shoot Kirby in the direction of the arrow. And I'm going to try to hit for 50 or so %. Try to hit this A button to get a little bit more momentum. So let's see if we can get a little bit more momentum on this hill and pop our... Oh my freaking god, yes. That is really hard to get a hole-in-one in, but if you do it just like that, with the little bit of A button pressing, boom, you'll be landing right in that hole and just be smiling just as much as I am right now, because... yeah, you need a low score. I'm not saying crazy low, but low enough. You'll see what I'm talking about as we beat this first course, but it's not going to keep being as easy as that. This is probably the first hole that you will not be able to get a hole-in-one in, because you have this enemy up on this hill, and you have these two caboos. You might think, well, what if I want to maybe get this guy? Yeah, that might be a good idea, and you might actually do a... tempting. Absolutely tempting. Sure, why not? What I would recommend, though, I would recommend hitting this thing, bouncing yourself pretty much right here, and then you can just shoot yourself up in that hole. But let's try it this way. Let's see what we get here, because this looks like it might turn out to be a fun little shot. Alright, let's see. Oh, that kind of worked. Alright, let's see if we can just do this one real quick. If we get this just right, we can get a nice... or get it in two, which is what I want. I'm gonna probably go for about... Alright, let's see how this works. Come on, Kirby, get in that hole. Yes! Alright, so that's probably the weird way of doing it, but as you can see, not too bad. It still works out. It's just goofy as hell. I still recommend that you go for the arrows and just kind of land yourself on top of that hill. It just seems a little bit more official. Now we have this particular situation, which can be a little tricky, because we have a little warp panel, and you see that little arrow on the warp panel? If you hit the warp panel, it will basically throw you out in the direction of that arrow, and as you can see, if you hit the shot a little too hard, that girdle will gladly remind you the speed limit. So let's try not to do that. Let's try to just take it at a nice, steady, slow pace. I would say probably about 50% would do it. We're going to press the A button just to give a little bit more oomph. Perfect. That is actually what I want to see, because we're going to need to make this next shot nice and tight. And I'm going to try to hit about 40 or so %. Press the A button just a little bit more, just to make sure I get enough speed. Bam! Alright, cool. Excellent. Now, the next hole, this is actually a really damn good score. If you get a 6 on the first 4 holes here, you are in prime condition to get the most fabled of medals, and you'll see very soon enough. There is definitely a medal system, and depending on how well you do, is depending on what kind of medal you get. You can probably already guess what kind of medals we're talking about here. No platinums, but golds. Let's try to get that gold here. So, this one involves me hitting this high jump guy, which I do already have it, so if anything, I could possibly rebound just in case I screw up, which could very much happen. And then we're going to bound over this Gordo, hit this Kaboo, and then go into that cup that this other Kaboo is going to create. So let's try this, see if we can get this working. Yep. We might be in trouble. We might be in lots of trouble. Come on. Alright. Sometimes you don't get the luck of the draw, or at least the luck of the shot. Sometimes it just doesn't give you enough momentum, and you stop dead right here. Ugh. Alright, so we're going to use our high jump ability right here by pressing the B button at the perfect time. Right about here. We're going to bounce and hit that kaboo. Give yourself a little bit of extra bounce here, because you don't want to undershoot the cup, because I've had a few situations where I skip the cup and then land right before the hill, and it's just like, god damn it. But 2 shots is generally not too bad, but you want to try to get a hole-in-one. It's very possible. Now we have this hole, where we're going to be making use of a new ability, Parasail. Parasail is a nice ability that allows you to put on the brakes on land, and when you use it in the air, you can slowly guide yourself down, which will end up in this hole, hopefully, depending on how everything works. Because, you know, this game's very freaking meticulous. Alright, good, good, good. And try not to press the B button too soon here. Okay, this might work out. Try to get a nice little mountain pad. Damn it. Just like the intro. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping. Thankfully, I have a nice little buffer from the first 4 holes, so we still might get gold. It's just kind of looking a little shoddy. But 10, if you get a score of 10 on the 6th hole, you are in good shape. Like, you pretty much just want to try to get a 1 or 2 on the next 2 holes, which I would say getting a hole-in-one on this is all about just knowing about the fly shot. The fly shot is one thing that I highly recommend you master. One thing you should know about the fly shot, if you hit a perfect 100%, you will follow that guide to a T. It will be basically just right as rain. And of course, you have to keep in mind of the roll that happens after the fly shot, so it's not, you're not going to stop exactly dead here, but we're going to hopefully roll right into that cup that this last kaboo is going to create. We don't need full power, but very close to it. And if you use top spin, you will bounce off of the water. If you don't have any spin, Kirby will just sink right in. And crap. Damn it, Kirby, what are you doing to me, man? Too much heat is pretty much what happened there. I was hammering that A button too much. Try not to do what I just did there. And we're going to hit about right here. And just make sure to fall in the hole. If you feel like you have too much speed and you have Parasail, just make sure to press the B button right when you're skipping the, like, right before skipping the cup. And you'll hopefully glide right down into it. Alright, let's see if I can get a 2-shotter on this last hole, because this is what I'd like to call the boss hole. If you're wondering why I'm calling it the boss hole, just listen to the music. When you hear this music, it will always be on the last hole of each course, and I kind of like this music because it does have a bit of a nice little jive to it. But we're going to have to deal with this next section, which is going to suck, because we're going to have to hit this button, make this water disappear, hopefully come back and U-turn on this kaboo, get myself in a nice little lineup with this other kaboo, and then pray that I get into this damn cup in 2 shots. So, let's see if we can make this work. Oh god. Well, we won't be getting a gold medal, but and I don't think we'll be getting a... Well, we will be getting a silver, but damn it. Alright, now we have to do this the annoying way, because now I just realized the pain and misery that I'm putting myself through. This is what I'm talking about, guys. If you screw up just a little bit on these holes, you will have to come face to face with the reality of, I don't have the abilities that I need to make this easier. And you know what that means. Pain. So, let's improvise. No hitting the A button, because that's what killed me the last time. See if we can get a nice little curve. Damn it. Alright, let's try this then. See if we can hit ourselves in such a way. Well, that could actually work. Alright, let's make this count. Come on. Oh. 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 Yeah. Well, like, good news is we got a silver. Bad news is that... Yeah, I was on, well, good track for a gold. So what's going to happen here is, since it's the Nintendo Switch Online, I'm going to reload a save state. Thanks to the ability of having that option, or a restore point is what they call it. And then we're going to just do this whole again, and you're going to see how to do it better, aka getting a gold medal. So look forward to that video later, but at the very least, I'm getting a silver with my wonky-ass luck. Ugh, man, that sucks. But yeah, silver's not bad. Silver's for your first time, especially. Pat yourself on the back, because this game is not easy. And a score of 16 is fantastic. Like, it's actually well and above beyond what you're asked to do. Like, the score you need to get a silver is a 19. And bronze, I believe, is a 23. So if you get a 16 for your first time, or at least just a good attempt, be happy with that, because you have to, like, suck it up. So, things you just need to note is that they do indicate the silver requirement by the first place position, generally indicated by the white screen on a nice Kirby, drawn Kirby enemy. And they also indicate the bronze medal requirement, but they don't indicate the gold. And the gold is a 14-point total. Oof. But we are done with course 1, and honestly, I'm happy with that score despite the entire debacle of hole 8. Damn it. But next time, Course 2 is going to up the ante a little bit. We're going to have to be a little even more precise, but it does have some easy holes along with some tricky holes. And if you screw up, oh, the improvisation times are not fun. But if you got, I want to offer you guys something. I want you guys to play this game with me, and I want to see how well you do, and if you really want to show off your video footage, by all means, I will gladly put that up in the links or in descriptions, or just find all sorts of ways to share that footage, because it's fun to play this game, even though it can be such a pain if you screw up. And it does have a lot of trial and error, as I said before, but once you really get this game down and you start, like, getting everything to a point where you know exactly what you need to do, it's kind of fun, honestly. But next time, we're going to be handling ourselves with Course 2, and if you like this video, be sure to give that thumbs up, and of course, subscribe, and hit the bell, as always, if you want to see more content like this. So, thanks for watching, have a great day, and adios.